We'll be looking at the Place Royale in Paris, specifically Place Royale, the original one, which is now called Place des Vosges, Place Dauphine, Place Louis le Grand, which is now known as Place Vendôme, and Place Louis XV, which is now known as Place de la Concorde. The first of these, Place des Vosges, was originally conceived as work areas for artisans in order to provide them with appropriate locales in Paris. That never really worked, so it quickly became a residential quarter for the aristocracy in order to be close to the king and to the court. Today, it remains a very sought-after address, and it has been preserved over the years in excellent condition. One of the features, of course, is the pavilions at either end, which represent the king and the queen, and subsequently the other area which is very much prized is the square in the center, which is now, of course, a public park. And of course, the primary symbol of the Place Royale, which is the king's statue. The second place is Place Dauphine, also initiated by Henry IV. It was seen exclusively as a residential area, again, to provide appropriate lodgings for people associated with the court. This is a period view of the buildings as seen from one of the bridges. This is the inauguration of the statue to Henry IV, which was placed here after his passing away. Another period view from a bird's eye view across the river, showing the typically triangular form of the place. And here is a series of contemporary views showing the buildings and the triangular part in the center. This is a view back from where the statue is, and finally the statue of Henry IV at the very tip of de l'Île Saint-Louis in the center of Paris. Finally, what we see is Place Vendôme, also known as Place Louis le Grand, which was built at the time of Louis XIV. A period view here of the building, an aerial view showing it how it fits into the very dense context of current day Paris. This is probably one of the most sought after addresses. A number of five-star hotels and the boutiques in and around the square on the ground floor, with some of the world's most prestigious jewelry shops known. The column in the center of the square is of Napoleon. Finally, we're looking at Place de la Concorde, which was the subject of a major competition by Louis XV. Pierre-Ange Gabriel was the architect that was selected. This is the design that was initially built. A period view from across the river, looking back. It did undergo a number of design proposals to modify it, some of which were implemented, such as this period view, probably early 19th century. As late 19th century, it became pretty well in its final form. This is a view of the, as it can be seen, 1919 of the square and with some population. Typically, now we see the cars going around the square, and finally a night view of a fountain.